Well, we don't want to participate in the Commonwealth. Commonwealth is presided over by the colonizer, and to allow the colonizer to preside over the former colonies is actually to allow the perpetuation of colonialism, which comes in a different, sophisticated manner. So we're not going to allow that. We want ourselves, as former colonies, colonized nations, to be organized through our own determination, not through what Britain thinks should be the form of organization when it comes to their former colonies. So we reject that. We're no longer a colony of Britain. And the ANC's continued kneeling before the Queen and kneeling before Theresa May is actually perpetuating that colonialism of a special type. And that type of respect we give to the colonizer is the one that perpetuates white supremacy and white arrogance. That for as long as they bow before the Queen and the Queen goes there and gives them new names.
Need a crappy drawing with.
Yes, greetings of people. Yes, it's I and I once more, and we kick off this session here with the voice of one Mr. Julius Malema. He's president of the EFF, Economic Freedom Fighters, in South Africa. Sorry, at the moment there's a lot of action going on surrounding Mr. Malema and the movement in South Africa at the moment. You know, the South Africans are looking to take back the lands from the British people who came there years ago, and their foreparents should have settled on some land that apparently wasn't theirs. And you know, it's an uprising going on. It's what you'd call a revolution. But anyway, I'm gonna forward to another clipping, Mr. Malema. Then we'll come back and elaborate some more on this and kick it off. Zin, 1 second.
It's wrong. Crime is crime. Let's deal with it as crime. When it is a white person in South Africa, undocumented, he's called an investor. Not only a white person, including Indians and Chinese. These Guptas didn't have proper papers here. These Guptas didn't have proper papers. No one dared call them Kwerekweres. No one. But if it was my African brothers, were going to be called Kwerekweres because they don't have papers. Self-hate. It must come to an end. If it means making the EFF lose votes for that, let it lose votes. Lose votes on principle. Not on political expediency of wanting to appeal. This country belongs to Africans in the same way Nigeria belongs to South Africans. Nigeria is South Africa, South Africa is Nigeria. We are Zimbabweans. We need to do away with this nonsensical idea that was imposed on us by colonizers, by Theresa May ancestors, that we must dislike each other. We must do away with that. Theresa May is coming here to make sure that we continue to hate each other. Look at what we are doing now. We are reclaiming our land in South Africa, saying our people must get the land inspired by our brothers in Zimbabwe. Namibia is following. Let the whole of African continent follow and reclaim our land. That's how we are going to gain our independence. And through the ownership of the continental land, we shall then have a true one South Africa.
Yes, my people. And so that was the voice again of Julius Malema, leader of the EFF, meaning Economic Freedom Fighters in South Africa. That's a political party, what they call a left-wing political party. We're not too delve in them kind of thing, left and right-wing thing. We're not too focus on that. But he's a leader now that is making some upturn in South Africa now, and pretty much probably is after backing of all the South Africans, the indigenous people of South Africa who actually wants back the land. Now, Julius Malema is actually saying that he don't want, and his party don't think South Africa or South Africans should be actually bowing to the UN. anymore. And he said in his own words that he's rejecting what Theresa May and the UN has to offer. You know, he says about time now black people and African people come together. You heard him in his own words. It's pretty much the same thing I've been saying in my other two messages. You know, the message of unity and togetherness and oneness, you know. Yes, so basically he was leader of the National Congress of Youth League of Leaders, ANCYL. That is in 2013. He broke away because of the same thing. He wasn't pleased with what was happening with that particular movement at the time, because they were still bowing down to what he called colonial masters or colonialism, and he you know, pretty much had enough of it, like myself here, and wanted to step away from it, and that he had formed the EFF now, which is a party in South Africa. So basically I might just leave some of the links below so you can actually check and see and listen to what he's saying basically for yourselves. You know, no, we're not bandwagonists, and we don't say things that we don't think about first. So I've put a lot of thought into this before I actually came up with the whole idea of bringing a message to the African people. You know, so having been browsing now, and well, actually an African brother of mine I saw the other day told me about Mr. Malema, so I actually researched him. And this is what I'm getting now, you know. So the message is a confirmation of the message, because most of what he's saying now, I already said in my previous two messages, basically saying that we need a language as a people that we use to communicate. So whenever we meet each other, wherever in the world we might be, we know exactly what to say and which language to correspond in, you know, with a bit of fluency, you know. Yes, so yes, Mr. Malema now basically is what they would call a revolutionist or a revolutionary. So, you know, as revolutionaries or revolutionist, your life will be at stake. You know, now we're hoping for the best for Mr. Malema, and we're hoping that his words are true and are coming from his heart, and he's not misleading the people or bringing a con to the people, you get what I'm saying? Because too many times the people have been misled, you know, and as a leader you need to, as Selassie said, if you find yourself in a place of power and authority, then you should use it for good, you know. So he seems like a good and a just man, so we are hoping that he don't turn out to be something else, and the powers that be will not allow him now to thrive if they see this becoming successful, because there's always been a fight to prevent unity. And when I say unity, black unity at that as well. Unity as a whole, they've always tried to push one side, but even so much more when it comes down to black unity, African unity. So basically Mr. Malema is saying now that Africa is for all Africans. So the borders need to come down. So Nigeria needs to start trading freely with South Africa and all these things. All these sanctions need to be removed that was placed on the African nations by the Europeans and by the West. You understand? Haile Selassie in his time made all the moves to unite Africa and to remove all of this. Now Haile Selassie is no longer around. Everything gone back to what it was before, you know. And the struggle continues. So I would implore every African all over the world, like I've said in the first two, and you can go and check on YouTube. If you see this video, then the others you'll automatically see and listen. Have a listen to that as well, because I've been imploring Africans all over to unite. Now is the time. In another part of his Mr. Malema's speech, he was also saying that we should also feel the pain. If we're in Africans in Africa should feel the pains of Africans in America when they're being brutalized. You understand? Likewise, vice versa. You know, so whether you be in Jamaica, anywhere in the Caribbean, in America, once a black life has been taken unjustly, whether it be by another black or by white people, it don't matter. We should feel the pain and we should stand together in solidarity. So unity is very much important. And like I said, we're not preaching separatism right here. You understand? We're saying that it's important for us as black people to overstand ourselves and come together first. Yeah, and then we can deal with integrating and bringing a more holistic unity straight across the world. Because it's important for us to come together now. For too long, we have been separated and confused and scattered all over, So we now need to come together for good to bring about this change that is so much important. The people who are in power position now, these so-called elites, are running the world to wreck. You understand? I'm not saying now that, yes, if black people come to power, it's all going to be good and dandy. But it seems as though it would be a better bet to have black people in the position of power from a spiritual standpoint. You understand? And from a historical standpoint. Yeah, so it's time now for us to channel our energy now. Africa is the place. Marcus Garvey said it. All the other prophets and messengers before him said it. You understand? He knew at the time that if we're ever going to get any form of unity, we need to be together in a spot of land. I'm not saying that it's not possible. We get the unity being a yard and a broad. You understand? But inevitably, it would be better if we were not a particular on a continent to ourselves. So then we are able to better bring together the different talents, different abilities together for good. You understand? There are many talented people in Jamaica, there are many talented people in America and other parts of the Caribbean, all over the world. We now need to go back into Africa with all this knowledge, all this know-how, create an economy there, build a society there, build a nation there. We're not doing it to compete, but we're doing it to build and to bring our people out of the mire, out of the clay, out of the depths that we have been for so many years. So now is the time for us to really start considering this. And Africa needs to start make preparation for its people who needs to come back now and start to stir things up and create what has been said for so long. A nation that is united together. You understand? So when we speak this with some form of authority and realism. We believe this is possible. You understand? We believe this is possible. And through this, then we can have this greater unity that is required. Africa is the place. Marcus Garvey, like I said, knew this because he's seen where Africans in America tried so hard to establish themselves, to pick themselves up after so many years of slavery through a project called the Black Wall Street, where they had their own schools, banks, you know it. They had a proper community, building an economy, and jealousy stepped in. And the Black Wall Street was no more. It was destroyed in about the 1930s, somewhere thereabout. In the 1920s, 30s, somewhere thereabout. So many of you would have known of that story. You know, there are many other cases where every time there's a black uprising of positivity, it's shunned, it's shunned, it's broken down, it's destroyed. You understand? It's dismantled. So Marcus Garvey saw and knew that there's no way we're going to be allowed to flourish and exist outside of Africa. Understand? We need to get ourselves out. We're not preaching separatism. We're not preaching a race war. We love all people. I love all people. We don't deal with racism around here. You understand? So anybody who might be listening to this now, do not get it twisted. We don't deal with racism. We have love for every race and every people. It's humanity, we say. But at the same time, we're talking about preservation of race, preservation of people, preservation of the world. This world needs human beings to save it, because there are some powers that be who wants to destroy and to end this world. There's a war going on, yes, my people, between life and death. The great Bob Marley said this. Death is trying to take life, you know. But life is stronger than death. The Bible itself said that in several parts you might read. And Christians been saying this forever whenever they read the Bible. World without end. I don't know if a lot of people understand what they're actually saying or understand what they're saying. World without end. So these people who are trying to get in your head from who were born until now that the world coming to an end and they want to end the world is the same wicked people. You understand? So you need to start thinking. God created mankind to be on this earth. Yeah. And we need to preserve life. Life is the greatest gift. We're not dealing with death around here. Death will come, but we're talking about sustainability. We're talking about survival. We're talking about saving this planet. So let's come together as a people, as one. Yeah? So for now, my people, blissfulness, oneness, love, unity, peace, joy, and honor, you know? Is that and I? So until next time, I might do another part on this. Or probably not. I'll go on to some other topics. You know, because this is perennial. It continues. It'll go on and on and on and on. And we can't stop until it's, you know, it's reach the right ears and reach the right people, and then
Come on, all my people, think outside the box, think outside the circle. Come on, all my people, think outside the box, think outside the circle. You don't tell me what to wear, no, how to keep my hair up, no. I don't need your help, no, thank you. Stay away from me. Don't tell me how to talk, tell me how to walk, no. You are not my controller. Stay away from me. Come on, all my people, think outside the box, think outside the circle.